Yeah, you read it right. As you can see here, players embarking on their 4th expedition will no longer earn skill points from the expedition challenge, which is the damage challenge. So they are actually capping the skill points to only 15 points, so only 3 expeditions, and that's it. So the cap is now 15 skill points, and from there and on, so from the 4th expedition onwards, you will not be earning skill points. You can still catch up to previous missed skill points on the future expeditions, obviously, but from the 4th expedition, the challenge will actually reward you, as you can see here. Instead, you will receive blueprints and raider tokens delivered after your departure from the damage challenge, which is pretty interesting. So they are actually capping the skill points now, and we're gonna talk about the blueprints and the mystery reward stuff. As you can see here, these are like the list of blueprints that you can get with like a pretty cool thing, which is with like a safeguard of like a duplicates and all that, which is pretty nice as well. We're gonna talk about that. And also we have obviously the stash space, which will also be limited to only 60, as you can see. So it will be maxed out at 60 extra slots by the 5th expedition. So they are also considering limiting this, so we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And also we have the consecutive buffs and the vault for like the blueprints for the expeditions, and they are planning to change the expeditions even more afterwards because of, you know, between like the rewarding of veteran players and new players, because as you may know with the expeditions, if someone starts playing the game right now, they will be doing their 1st expedition, not the 4th expedition. So new players are always behind, so they kind of want to change that, and so that new players are not like they're not always like behind the players that were playing before them or something like that. So they are considering changing the expeditions even more, which is pretty crazy. So first things first, let's go on things in order. So we got the new blog post about the 4th expedition, and they are changing them once again, which is pretty insane. But as you can see, the 4th expedition is almost here, blah 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 blah. So this is pretty much just like flavor text, all that. We're gonna get a new Zenith outfit, which is this one that you are seeing right here, which is the new upgradable outfit that you upgrade by doing multiple expeditions in a row, just like the patchwork one that we had before. So there we go. And also the timing. So we have the window is opening on July 7th, as you can see, up until the 21st of July. So we have 14 days to complete the requirements and the challenge as well, the damage challenge, right? And if we don't know like how to do an expedition, this is how it is. We already I did like a full guide on how to do expeditions. You can check it out on the top corner right there. So make sure to watch that if you are still confused about expeditions and what happens when you join the game and all that. That might change, as we said at the bottom here. They might change it, but we'll see where it goes. But pretty much the TLDR, you complete the caravan, so you build it through all the stages, you wait for the expedition window to open, which is going to open on the July 7th. You sign up for the expedition. You actually need to click a button. You need to actually sign up to do the expedition. Keep that in mind. It doesn't automatically sign you up for the expedition. And then you just have to complete the challenge. The damage challenge is this one, right? Just the one that we had on the previous expedition as well. And then once you're done with the challenge, you can start catching up on any missed skill points. So any skill points that you didn't get, you can start, catching up on those skill points. And then you just wait for this date right here at this time to depart on your expedition and reset your character, which is pretty cool. So rewards, same thing. They depend on the personal progression, obviously. So it depends on which expedition you are doing. So if you are doing your first ever expedition, you are not doing the 4th expedition, okay? You are doing the 1st expedition, which you can check out right here. So this is your rewards right here. And if you are doing your 2nd expedition, you are doing the 2nd one. You're not doing like, so just keep that in mind, because a lot of people are confused by that. So 1st expedition is this, and then we have the 2nd one and the 3rd one and the 4th one, which are these ones right here. We're gonna go over the 4th one in just a little bit, but just to kind of like refresh your memory, this is what you can get for the 2nd one and the 3rd one as well. All right, so that's the rewards. And speaking of rewards, we have the mystery rewards, which is the new kind of like system instead of the skill points. So as we said before, skill points are now capped to only 15, so you cannot get more than 15. So by the third expedition, like me for example, we already did 3 expeditions and we have already all 15 bonus skill points, so I'm pretty much capped now with the expedition. So I guess we're done. And so you're not getting skill points anymore, but you will be getting blueprints and raider tokens, which is the premium currency of the game. The number of rewards you receive is based on the damage dealt. Yeah. Unlike skill points, there will have no catch-up mechanic. Yeah, so this is important too. So you cannot catch up on these blueprints and raider tokens, unlike skill points, so keep that in mind as well. So it doesn't mean that you only manage to like do 3 rewards right here, and on the next expedition you can do 5, and then you can do like another 2 that you missed or something and get like 2 extra blueprints. That doesn't happen. There's no catch-up mechanic for this mystery rewards, so just keep that in mind as well. It's the first time we are trying mystery rewards, so they will be monitoring and watching the feedback, etc, etc. So there you go. To claim all 5 bonus skill points, you need to do the same challenge that we did on the previous expedition. So deal 5,000 damage, and then 10,000, 30,000, 50,000, and 100,000 damage. And just for reference, killing like one bombardier or like 1 bastion is 5,000 total damage. And it seems like a lot, but I thought it would be harder. But when we did it on the 3rd expedition, it was actually very easy to do. It was actually really easy. I thought it would be harder to kind of like max it out, but it's actually pretty easy. So don't worry about that. As long as you know how to play the game, it is actually pretty simple to do. It's not as hard as it seems. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, there it is. This is the sign up page right here, and we have the blueprints. So as we said, mystery rewards will give you blueprints and raider tokens. It's a little bit confusing here, but if we take a look all the way down here, raider tokens, 150 raider tokens will be rewarded for completing each departure objective. Okay, unlike blueprints, they are permanent and will not reset with the next expedition, obviously, right? But this is pretty important. So you will get 150 raider token per reward. Okay, it's not like included in the randomness of the rewards. It's not like, oh, you do one, you can get either the raider tokens or a blueprint. No, you get raider tokens 150 per reward. On top of that, you get a random blueprint. Okay, so you get both per reward. It's not just one. Okay, so that is very important to know first. Okay, and then which blueprints are you going to get, which is really important as well because of this right here. So each blueprint's departure objective rewards you with 1 blueprint. Keep in mind that these blueprints are temporary and will reset when you depart on your next expedition. So they are tied to whichever character you learn them on, which is probably your next character, because they will be given to you after the departure. Okay, so when you start your fresh character, he will receive, and my camera just went off. What are you doing? There you go. Whatever character you will be doing, right? You will get those blueprints when you start doing, when you start with that character. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And obviously they're not permanent, so you will not just like get, you know, for example, I don't know, you get like a Venator blueprint. It's not permanent, right? It's not permanent on your account. It's only tied to your character, just like anytime you learn any blueprints, right? So just keep that in mind. Once you do another expedition, these blueprints that you get here and you learn them on your current character, they will also reset. They are not permanent. So hopefully that is clear, okay? And also the damage challenge rewards are safeguarded against duplicates, which is really good, okay? So which means, right, when, for example, I don't know, you get like an Envo blueprint, right, on like your first reward. On the second reward, or the 3rd one, or the 4th one, or the 5th one, you will not get another Envo blueprint. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So once you get a blueprint, so you get like you do your first 5,000 damage, you get a Venator, you're not gonna get another Venator blue. So there's no duplicates with this challenge, which is really nice. So you make sure that you get like a different blueprints all the time, which is really nice. So every challenge will give you a different blueprint, which is also really, really good. And as you can see right here, meaning you won't receive the same blueprint twice. However, this protection does not extend to the blueprints you have carried over in Ernal's vault, because if we take a look here, we have the expedition vault at the bottom, and here you can actually carry over some blueprints. So you can buy these slots and you can put blueprints here for your next raider to get, right? And let's say, for example, I don't know, you put a survivor kit here, an MK3 survivor blueprint, which is one of the best kits, right? So you put one here. That is not safeguarded towards blueprints on the expedition. So you put a safeguard kit right here, like a safeguard kit, or a safekeeper, or like a survivor kit, for example, and you go and do your expedition, right? And you do like the first damage challenge, and you get a blueprint, right? You will have a chance to get that same blueprint that you put in the vault. So your next raider will end up with like 2, for example, survivor blueprints, as we said before, right? So that's how it is, right? So there is a chance of duplicates with Ernal's vault. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's not like the normal blueprints. So there you go. So that is important, and also pretty good, to be honest. At least you are guaranteed to have like different blueprints for that, and these are pretty decent ones. Heavy gun parts, complete gun parts, pretty good. Furniture, pretty good. Anvil, pretty good. Hull Cracker, I'm not sure. You already get it from like a quest, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know why they put it here, but it's okay. Tempest Blueprint also, so that's also pretty good. Aphelion, I do like Aphelion quite a bit as well. MK3 Survivor Kit, obviously, a really, really good one too. Wolfpack, pretty good. Snaphook as well, pretty good too. All right, so these are the blueprints that you can get, as you can see right here. Really, really cool. And it's also, as we said, with each step that you complete, you will get 150 raider tokens, which means on total you will get, if you do all 5, you can get 750 raider tokens, which is quite a bit, which is really, really nice. So there you go. And these are permanent. Obviously they are tied to your account, not your character, so you don't have to worry about that. Alrighty, so next up is we have the expedition rewards. So the 4th expedition, what are we going to get on the 4th expedition? We have the Zenith outfit. The Zenith outfit? I mean, hey, pretty cool. Pretty good. It looks kind of decent. We'll see like what we'll see what kind of like attachments you can like, you know, customize on it and all that. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. It already has like a little bit of white, black, and red. So hey, I'm happy with that. Pretty good. So we're gonna be getting this new outfit that is going to be evolved. It's kind of like an evolution, right? As we had with the previous patchwork outfit. So evolved, as you can see. So it's gonna it's gonna, you know, evolve like with 3 expeditions, I would assume, right? So that's what's gonna happen there. Pretty cool. We have a new expedition indicator icon, as you can see right here. This is the 3rd one. We have like the star, and then the 2 stars, and then this is the 3rd one for like the 3rd expedition, as you can see right here. I wonder like what's it gonna be on the 4th one. We'll see like how the icon is going to be. So that's gonna be cool. Let's see. All right, then we have damage challenge rewards. As we said, 1 blueprint, 1-time reward per completed departure objective, guaranteed rare or higher rarity, even though anvils are green rarity, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but yeah, so there you go. We have 150 raider tokens per objective as well, as we said. So that's also really, really nice. And then we have the expeditioner bonuses. We have plus 12 stash spaces, so you will get 48 in total. If you did all, well, by the 4th, you will have 48 total, which is going to be pretty good, because stash space is kind of like the end game boss of arcraiders. Okay, so there you go. And also you can catch up on missed skill points up to the 15 total, so 5 per expedition. It capped at the expedition tree. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you missed any points in here, you can still catch up to these missed skill points, but keep in mind you will not be gaining any skill points from the damage challenge. It's capped at 15. That's it. Okay, so keep that in mind. And there you go. I think no need to kind of go through these because we already went through them on the picture there. So there we go. Pretty self-explanatory. But one important thing, 60. Okay, so the stash spaces, they will stack, but only to a maximum of 60. So by the 5th expedition, this will be maxed out. So by the 5th expedition, it will max out at 60 slots. All right, so keep that in mind. Then we have the consecutive buffs. All right, consecutive buffs, pretty self-explanatory. It's these ones right here. They cap at 3 stacks as well, so they will also cap at the 3rd expedition, right? So you will only have a maximum of like 80 repair value, which is really good, to be honest. More scrappy materials, 18% and 50% base XP boost, which is pretty cool. But keep that in mind, if you do not do, like if you can't, like for example, you do your 1st expedition, your 2nd expedition, you have like 10%, you have like the 2nd stack, right? Which is the 3rd stack is the maximum. You have the 2nd stack. If you don't do your next expedition, your stacks will be preserved, but you will not have them on your next cycle. Okay, so you do the 2nd expedition, right? You don't do the 3rd one, so during the 3rd one that you didn't do, you will not have these consecutive buffs. Okay, but they will be saved, so you will not have them here. But if you do your 3rd expedition on the next cycle right here, then you will resume wherever you left off, which is here, right? So you will get your 2nd stack on your 3rd expedition, right? So hopefully that makes sense, right? So you do them here, you don't do this, so you save it here, but you don't get anything here. But if you do it here on the 3rd expedition, just ignore the numbers, right? If you do your 3rd expedition here, you will not go to the next stack, so you will not make this 10% to a 15%, right? So you will not go to your 3rd stack. You will start first on whichever stack you left these consecutive buffs on, right? So if you do your 2nd expedition one last time, okay, you do your 2nd expedition, you get your 2nd stack of buffs, and then you don't do your 3rd expedition, which means you will spend the cycle up until the next expedition without any buffs. But when you do decide to resume your expedition, and you do actually do the 3rd expedition here, you will resume your consecutive buffs to wherever you left them off, which means in this case, when you do your 3rd expedition without doing it consecutively, you will not get your 3rd stack with the 3rd expedition. You will first resume your 2nd stack first, and then if you do another expedition consecutively, so if you do the 4th expedition or right after the 3rd expedition consecutively, then you will level up your stack, the buffs, the stack of the buffs, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but I mean, hey, there you go. But that's pretty much kind of like a quick little TLDR here, because it's not like that clear in here, right? But that's pretty much how it works. And also we have Ernal's Vault, so you can purchase up to 5 Expedition Vault slots, as we said. So if you want to buff up your next trader, and you have like some duplicate blueprints that you have on your current expedition, and you don't want to sell them, you just want to transfer them to your next trader instead, then you can do that through Ernal's Vault. You go to the traders, as I showcased earlier, and you secure them there. Okay, then we have the trials. It will start as soon as the expedition window opens, which is in about 2 weeks from now, something like that, right? So you will have the new trial season with hopefully better end game skins or whatever, because as you can see right here, I'm not really doing trials because like the rewards are not that good. Like the skin that we get at the end, like this skin is not that good in my opinion, so I just don't bother with it. So as you can see, I'm barely doing them, right? And there you go. So hopefully they get like a really a better skin that we can work towards. Just like, for example, this one that we did on the 3rd one, which is really looks absolutely amazing, which is this, right? This skin is pretty cool, and that's why I grinded it out a little bit, right? So hopefully we do get a better skin, right, to kind of like work towards. That would be pretty nice, right? But yeah, there you go. So that's about the trials right there, and also new raider and future expeditions. As we said, they are planning to actually, you know, change expeditions even more, probably before the Frozen Trail update coming up this October, right? So as they say here, we understand the frustration of new players that are only now starting to do their expeditions. We need to find the right balance of rewarding our veteran players, but also they're doing this pretty well, but also give new players fair and fun ways to catch up and not feel like they are always behind. This is a continuous effort, and we'll keep you updated as we have more to share. This is a true problem, by the way, because as we said, you know, in the guide that we did for the expedition, when we explained everything, if someone starts playing the game right now, they will not be doing the 4th expedition, they will be doing the 1st expedition, okay? So that's the problem that they are having right now. So anyone, this kind of like deters like the influx of new players for the game by quite a bit, because you don't want to join and start playing a game and you know that you are always gonna be behind. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it discourages new players from like jumping into the game, or because you always know that you're always going to be behind in expeditions. So it's like it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of a little bit weird. So if someone plays the game right now, they will be doing like the 1st expedition instead, and like they feel that they are always behind, which is kind of, I mean, it is fair. I mean, hey, if we were here the first, so we kind of like, you know, it's kind of like deserved for like the veteran players, but I mean, they still need to kind of like, you know, bring in new players and make them, you know, have like fair and fun ways to catch up. Now, I hope they don't make it like a little bit too OP that the veteran players will feel like, you know, they're being like tossed to the side, sort of like that. So they feel like, oh, we just wasted our time, and here's new players that have the same things that we have with less time invested. So hopefully they find a right balance on how to do this. Again, it does kind of like discourages new players from like trying the game or whatever. So hopefully they find a good balance of doing that. Right, hopefully they do. And as you can see right here, let us know what you think of these changes and how they feel in practice, and keep up the feedback on what you think you'd like to see in the future. Overall, really good. Capping the skill points, really good, because you don't want to just like have a huge gap between like new players and veteran players. 15 skill points is not that much, which is pretty balanced in my opinion. And also, you know, the skill tree is not, there's no like real meta in the skill tree, right? There is like a couple of good stuff, but it's really just like all over the place. So they're not like really OP, which is really good, by the way. So hopefully they keep it that way, right? Because they do consider like changing the skill tree, but hopefully they don't make it so that there is some meta stuff in the skill tree. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because combine that with like skill points and bigger gaps, it's a big problem, right? So good thing that they are actually, you know, capping the skill points. They're actually capping the skill points now, which is pretty good. What is not good, in my opinion, they are capping the stash slots, right? I don't think it's necessary to cap it, to be honest, or at least like cap it a little bit higher than 60, you know what I mean? So, because like, you know, it's always good to have like more stash space. I mean, but I mean, it's fine, I don't really mind it, but yeah, there you go. So, however, skill points capping is pretty good, so I'm happy with that. Damage challenge, way better than value in my opinion, and like cash and, you know, inventory value or whatever. So, as we said, the previous expedition, really happy they did this, right? It is actually way better, it's easier, and it actually promotes you to use your end game gear and the stuff that you were stashing, instead of just like, you know, hoarding gear and never using it, right? It doesn't make sense. So this is way, way better. Glad they're doing this, and also glad they cap in the skill points, and also this new mystery reward thing is also pretty good in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if it's the best way of doing it, but I mean, hey, granting you like extra blueprints that you can start with, right? Combine that with like Ernal's vault, where you can like, if you have duplicates, you can just like send them over. Like these two, like combine these two together, and you will have the chance to kind of get all these blueprints that are pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty nice. It is really, really good in my opinion. So yeah, at least something different and something actually kind of like kind of worth it as well. So you keep a little bit of progression towards like your next trader, which is pretty nice, because you're already starting from scratch, so you're already at a bigger disadvantage. So giving you like ways like this to kind of like keep at least a little bit of firepower in your arsenal with like blueprints and good things to kind of like have is pretty good. Okay, it is pretty good. So I'm happy they are doing this. Not sure, there's probably gonna be like way better ways of doing this or whatever. If I just like sit and just think about stuff, we can probably like come up with like better things I could do, maybe. And you guys probably already know better ways to do this. But yeah, overall, pretty good start in my opinion. It's a pretty good start. It's a pretty good mechanic overall. There you go, right? Getting blueprints for expeditions. I mean, hey, there it is. It's pretty nice. The only thing I wish they would remove like a quest blueprints instead, like the whole cracker, for example, or something. Because I think you do get it from a quest, no? I think you do get it from a quest. I'm not really sure, but I think you do. So try to remove like whole cracker stuff or whatever, right? Things that you already get from quests and stuff. So that would be also pretty nice. But yeah, and also premium currency, pretty nice. Happy with that. I mean, you can get a little bit new, some new skins and whatever to kind of mess around with. That's always pretty good. You get a new skin as well that is kind of like with like an evolution thingy that you can have on consecutive ones. Same as the patchwork. Pretty good overall as well. A stash space, pretty good. Catching up on the missed skill points as well. You can still do that if you missed anything, so that's also pretty good. But yeah, I mean, overall, I wish they would like, you know, make the consecutive buffs a little bit more interesting, in my opinion, rather than just this. I wish they would do that, but I'm not sure what they would add. But I mean, it's overall just, it is pretty good. I mean, it is not as underwhelming as it was, for sure. So yeah, overall, pretty good balance changes with like the skill points, and pretty good changes on the damage stuff and all that. I mean, they did it the previous expedition, but still, it is a pretty very good and recent change. And the blueprints as well, really nice too. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Overall, pretty nice. Hopefully they do a pretty good trial season with like new skins and a better skins and better rewards, hopefully, right? And yeah, overall, there it is. So it's gonna be on July 7th up until July 21st. Okay, so keep that in mind. And also, if you are still confused about how to do expedition, there it is, as you can see it right here. And also, you can click on the video right here to kind of like watch a full guide that we did on the expedition as well. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it for arcraiders. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. And raiders, I'll see you topside.